It was just a photo. Three men, Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and Narendra Modi, standing shoulder to shoulder at a summit in China. But to Donald Trump, it was something else. A warning, a betrayal, a sign that the world order is shifting before America's very eyes. On Friday, Trump fired off a blunt post. Looks like we've lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together. One line, one picture, and suddenly, decades of US strategy looked like it was slipping away. Xi Jinping hosted more than 20 leaders of non-Western countries at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in Tianjin. Among them, Putin and Modi. Cameras caught Putin and Modi holding hands as they walked toward Xi. Then the three leaders stood side by side, a moment heavy with symbolism. For China, it was a victory lap. For Russia, a reassurance of support. For India, a statement of independence. And for Trump, a nightmare snapshot of America's fading influence. Stage 2: The silence from New Delhi. Reporters in New Delhi pressed India's foreign ministry for a reaction to Trump's outburst. The answer: no comment. The silence spoke volumes. Because India doesn't want to pick sides, but the optics are undeniable. Modi's embrace of Putin and Xi comes just as US-India ties hit their lowest point in decades. Behind this diplomatic drift is a bruising trade war. Last month, Trump hit Indian exports with 50% tariffs. The punishment? India's continued purchase of Russian oil. Products from garments to jewelry, chemicals to footwear, all slammed with heavy duties. The result? Devastation for India's exporters. Factories in Tamil Nadu, Noida, Surat have halted production. Labor-intensive industries like textiles, seafood, and jewelry, operating on razor-thin margins, are bleeding jobs. Thousands already laid off. One trade leader put it bluntly: textiles and apparel manufacturers have halted production amid worsening cost competitiveness. And the numbers are staggering. 55% of India's exports to the US, worth nearly $48 billion, are now disadvantaged compared to Vietnam, China, and Bangladesh. India isn't folding. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced relief measures to protect exporters, credit guarantees, support for small businesses. But she also drew a red line: India will continue buying Russian oil. Because oil isn't just energy, it's survival. Whether it's Russian oil or anything else, it's our decision, she said. Translation: Washington doesn't decide India's energy policy. Step back, and the picture grows darker. China is presenting itself as the reliable partner. Russia is deepening ties with India to blunt Western sanctions. India, squeezed by US tariffs, is edging closer to Beijing, not out of love, but out of necessity. And America, watching its two long-courted partners, New Delhi and Moscow, line up with Xi. Trump says he's disappointed in Putin. But his real fear isn't Russia. It's Russia and India standing with China. For decades, US policy hinged on one dream: that India, the world's largest democracy, would stand shoulder to shoulder with America against China's rise. Now, that dream is slipping. The very alliance that was supposed to contain Beijing may be unraveling, with Washington's own tariffs pushing India into China's arms. And with every handshake, every summit, every silent photo op, Beijing's New World Order looks less like theory, and more like reality. When Trump looked at that photo, Modi, Putin, Xi, he didn't see just three leaders. He saw the future. A future where India and Russia no longer orbit Washington. A future where China sits at the center of gravity. Lost to deepest, darkest China, Trump wrote. Maybe he was exaggerating, maybe not, but one thing is certain. That single image from Tianjin may be remembered as more than a photo. It may be remembered as the moment the balance of power shifted, and the world stepped into a new era.